Afternoon, VC. All right, back in the flow here. Records that are coming in the door. Um, Wide variety of things this time, which seems to be the usual deal, and that's how I like it. I don't try to pigeonhole myself into one genre um, or anything like that. I love listening to all different types of music. Um, that's the best part of record collecting. I mean, I actually just changed some of the sections around to make some room. I actually pulled the classic rock out of my rock section and made it its own little section. I actually have a little section that's just Detroit, basically proto-punk stuff before I get to my punk sections. So just something to do. But I've got some interesting records here. I'll try to leave a few links to some of this stuff because some of it's kind of some of this stuff is you may not have heard of, or you may have, but and you should check it out. The first few records are from the Bcore label out of Barcelona, Spain. A friend Gavin in Atlanta, who my friend Joe and I both have been buying records from for years, in thanks to Scott at Lunchbox Records. Back when I first discovered the Bcore label because of Scott, he was playing one of the albums in the store in the old location, and I asked him what it was. It blew my freaking mind. It was Shanty Road, and everything just fell into place from there. Once I found out what the label was and how to get a hold of those types of records, I mean, I've gotten a lot directly from Jordy and the guys at Bcore over the years. But through Scott, I found out that he had a distributor in Atlanta at Stick Figure, and yeah, Gavin, he knows us now. But a few years ago, I think really maybe a year or two before the pandemic started, Bcore stopped shipping anything to them. They just weren't moving enough product. Not many people know about this stuff, which is a shame. So he's had all this dead stock, and he keeps marking it down. And now he's got the CDs are down to about $4, $3, $4, $4.50, things like that. The records are all down now to 10 to 15 bucks. And these are imports from Spain. And a lot of these records didn't get pressed in large quantities. So it's nice to sneak back over to his deal every now and again. He's on Discogs. Actually, I think I actually started going to Discogs years ago just for being able to order from him. So yeah, I got a few things. It's been a long time since I actually put in a Bcore order from him, but we did get a few items very cheaply. Got this CD, Maria Rhodes, Sueño Triangular. And this came out in 2012 on the Bcore label, and so the CD was really cheap. This has a song, track 5, Mural. I'll leave a link to the video. It's a fantastic video. Great guitars on it. Maria Rhodes is absolutely gorgeous, for one. She has the voice of an absolute angel, for two. It's stunning, her voice. I can't put, I don't know if I put anybody above her as far as this type of music and her singing style. And I mean, she's also a great guitar player. But this was recorded by Santi Garcia at Ultramarino, Costa Brava. Yeah, I mean, Ramon Rodriguez from the new Ramon is here on guitar and percussion. A lot of guests on this. Fantastic album. Really good singer-songwriter stuff. Again, I'll leave a link. And I also did get the record because it was so cheap. There was a limited white version, and that's what he had listed for sale for cheap, but it ended up being a black copy, which I'm fine with. So he caught it before he shipped it and asked if I still wanted it. I said, oh yeah. So I also have, they didn't press many of these, so I also have it on record. So I have it for the car and for the turntable. Also in that was a band that my friend Joe absolutely loves and has everything of. I've always just had the CDs, and I only had one on vinyl, so I'm trying to start to put together all these copies I never got of Beatunizer, and this is Boogalizer, their album from, I also think from 2012. One of the best bands to ever come out on Bcore. It's almost like they're the Spanish Primus, but with more, just heavier and more of an edge to them. It's the best way I can describe it. I'll try to leave a link to some live footage of Beatunizer. Fucking, just a mind-blowingly good band. Yeah, and they have a lot of records. And their lead singer, lead guitarist, he's in a bunch of bands. He's in Quelo. He's done solo stuff as well. But yeah, got that back in. And then friend Elias in Spain, his fantastic project A, it's just EH with an exclamation point. This is, I think, the second record that he did, La Fase del Sueño Intratable. It's hard to say, but this is a fantastic record. It's very experimental, jazz at times. There's guitars in this. It's a hard to describe record. Very experimental. I really think that Alex, Dom, you guys would absolutely love this record. I suggest checking it out. I'll see, again, I'm going to try to put some links to some of this stuff, just because it, you know, old Spanish, well, it ain't old, but, you know, it's kind of old to me now. I forget what year this one is, but probably back around the same time frame. I think this came out maybe 2013, because I recall I was in Spain, and we were in Premia de Mar in our Airbnb, and I had the CD with me, and we actually played it in the apartment that we were staying in, and everybody dug it, which I was surprised, because it is kind of out there stuff. My friend Jeff he really dug it. I think because there's some classical tendencies in this too. Very interesting record. A lot of musicians, because it's just Elias's project, and yeah, but he has a lot of great musicians. There's cello on this. There's guitar, saxophone, piano. And it's got a really cool insert. And there's what the labels are, very plain label, but I'll show you that there. But on Bcore, I always loved the label for putting out a lot of different things other than Spanish punk. And so this is a great one. That took me a long time. I've had the CD, and it was a free promo CD I got from the label. But happy to now have the vinyl finally, because the price came way down on it. Has dead stock. Alright, so moving on from the Bcore stuff. I forget who it was. Probably, yeah, I'm sure it was Alex. Turned me on to this seller on Instagram, Mono Records out of Los Angeles. I have kept missing out on some of his great African records that he posts. I'm always too late seeing these posts, and when I ask about a record, they go so fast. They're gone. I did finally get one. at a really good deal. So that's Fela in Africa 70, Authority Stealing, an original Nigerian pressing on the Calcutta record label. And this is a freaking killer Fela record. He's playing some saxophone on this and tearing it up. I love when Fela throws down on the sax. And it's got some damage to the cover, so there was a good price on this. The record is VG, sometimes VG plus. Don't look that hot, but yeah, it plays pretty good for being is where it's from. Nigerian original. Always happy to get any Fela into the collection, whether it be reissue or whatnot. So that's a good first buy from him out in LA. Next is one that I had missed out on Record Store Day. Well, I don't know. There's a million Record Store Days now. One of them. And this popped up in Repo. I was very surprised. He had 2 copies of it. It's a double LP on Trojan. Love Is All I Bring. Reggae Hits and Rarities by the Queens of Trojan. This is fantastic. All the female reggae artists compiled on a double LP. Yeah, I've listened to the first, besides A and B, I need to listen to C and D. But what I've listened to so far, Uptown Top Ranking from Althea and Donna is killer. I Shall Sing by Judy Mowat was great. Stepping Out of Babylon with Marcia Griffiths also was dope. I did not like the song at the end of side 1. It's that song. It's in a movie. Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Oh God. I hate that song. But other than that, everything else is dope. Yeah, there's just some killer stuff on here. And it spans from the late 60s through the mid 80s. And it shows like pictures of each of the ladies and different releases. But yeah, this would be something that John, 6-inch pianist, would dig. Yeah, and it's actually a reissue. It had come out a few years prior, but they reissued it for Record Store Day. And it's I think actually Maslow got this, if I recall, which was kind of surprising, but it's on this orange wax, really just pressed fantastically. I mean, this is a seriously heavy-duty piece of wax. Nice sleeves. Everything's top-notch about this. The sound quality is fantastic. I still got to listen to the rest of it, but very dope so far, other than the one song. Horrendous song. It's just personal opinion. Maybe because of the movie too. It was in a comedy and it was made to be funny. Next are a couple records you probably never thought I'd show on this channel. I've always been intrigued by this cover. I never gave this band the time of day, just because I just never felt there was a need to. It's just, you know, I was born after the whole deal with this band, and I mean, my mom dug this record, but she didn't play them very, very often. And so it's just not something I grew up with. And you know, you hear their songs on TV all the time, and you know, everywhere. So you end up drowning it out. But I finally decided to pick up a Beatles record, and I figured, well, if I'm gonna get one, it might as well be Revolver, since I dig the cover. I know some of the song titles; they were familiar, and so we have Repo Records here, which is one of the premier record stores for Beatles. I mean, they have an entire section that's just for the Beatles. They always have. So I'm going to find any, it'd be there. And he had 2 copies of Revolver. Well, he had 3 copies of Revolver. And this is original US mono. And I understand the UK is the one to get with the tip-on and the extra songs and the different version of probably Tomorrow Never Knows, I think, or Here, There, and Everywhere. I forget. One of the songs has a different version on the UK. But I did get this 1966 US copy in really good shape. The record's got a little bit of surface noise, so we're going to be cleaning this one up today with my new groove washer kit. But Taxman, fucking music, goddamn killer cut. I mean, it sounds like you could jam that. It'd be something new coming out now. Eleanor Rigby, also good. Tomorrow Never Knows. A lot of great tracks on this. I don't need to talk about Revolver too much. But this is Scranton pressing from 1966. And I was interested to hear, because I hear I heard there's a big difference between the mono and stereo, and there is. And so I did get a stereo, and this is also an original 1966. This is Los Angeles pressing of the stereo version. So I do have now a mono and a stereo. I'm gonna want to get a UK mono is kind of what I want to find next. But those probably aren't gonna pop up around here, so we'll see how it goes. But I think I can get Jimmy to handle that. And then also there I found this record for $8, and it's in mint condition. Josh White at Town Hall, so some really good blues. I had never heard Josh White, just seen like Sherv show a few of his records in the past, and so thought this might be a good one to grab since it's an original copy on Mercury for super cheap and great condition, and it sounds fantastic for a live recording. Outskirts of Town that opens is really good, but it's him and his son and his wife on this. Josh White, different style than a lot of the other blues guys, a little cleaner maybe, I would say, but I dig it. It's pretty good. The next record, this record freaking slays. This is dope as hell. Mel Brown's Fifth on Impulse. Holy shit. This is just all out. The guitar jamming on this. Yeah. This is a dope LP. I didn't have any Mel Brown. I think John found one of his records at Tip Top at Premium Sound before he closed down on one of our digs, and I recommended he pick it up, and yeah, he loved it. Yeah, there's your Impulse labelless original copy, and this record's super cheap. I mean, you can get this for like $12 or something. Not expensive at all. Yeah, cheap heat right here for sure. And I actually think Ken McAuliffe brought this record to try out some speakers with recently on a video. Next is a pre-order. There's been a lot. For some reason, all the heavy bands do pre-orders now, and the ones that I dig too. So it's like, oh crap. So I end up, forgetting about them, and then they show up, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. So Russian Circles, Gnosis, and I've been waiting on this for a long time, but I forgot about this one. Yeah, I think it's their 8th LP. I have them all, not all on vinyl though. I think there's 3 I still need on vinyl. One's a live thing though. But this is a really well done piece of wax. I mean, look at this. This is fucking, and it's just, they packed this brilliantly. I mean, there was all kinds of padding, and I mean, I've never seen a record shipped any better than this. from their record company. I was very surprised, shocked even. I mean, they put a lot of care, Sargent House, into getting these records out in dead mint condition. Unlike the folks that put out Kowloon Walled City, which was an absolute travesty. Yeah, they need to take notes from Sargent House and their distributor. And Russian Circles, same formula pretty much every time. There's some of this has some Tool leanings to it though, but it's all instrumental. Real good heavy bass. Drummer is a sick individual, Mr. Turnkrantz. One of the best drummers I've ever seen live. The guitarist loops a lot of things, so you get a lot of effects, but it's just a trio. And I've seen them twice live, and it is an experience for sure. But this is their new one, Russian Circles, from Chicago. They're much different than Pelican. Pelican's heavier on the guitars. This has more technical guitar work. The new video is fucking wild. I'll leave a link to that if I can. I'm going to leave a bunch of links. Try to leave a bunch of links on this video. Next, this is one Chris Cole hit me up on. There was a ridiculously cheap buy it now compared to what it goes for, so I had to jump on it because anything on this label, I'm all for it. This is Christoph Zragra. I don't even know how to say his last name, but this is Laukun on the Polish Jazz label. And this is an interesting album, and it's all over the place. There's a lot of different sounds on this. But this dude is a flute player. I really did not dig track 1, Lose Blues, because it's mostly flute. But then this record just takes off. The last cut is unreal. Fin de Cycle, or Cycle. The freaking Fender piano playing is just all out killer. And then Mr. Namislowski's guests on one of the cuts on the A side on alto sax and is fantastic. But yeah, on the original, on the Polska Nagrania Muza label, I love this label. Anything I see on this label, I'm going to pick up. Because they're from Poland and they're hard to find here. And this one was in like New Hampshire or something for like 14 bucks. So there is that bad boy. Very happy to find that. Thanks to Chris Cole and his amazing recommendations. Let's see, we're getting down here. This one is a record that I've had the CD since it came out, and I don't know why I never picked up the vinyl, because it's got my favorite cuts on it from this band. This was their first record, and that is Off on the self-titled. And yeah, everybody knows Off. These are all like really short, powerful songs. This one's from 2012, this original copy. Wiped Out, fucking killer. Yeah, this is... Their new record's coming out in the fall, which I'll be getting. Yeah, Keith Morris, legendary, from Circle Jerks and Black Flag. Dimitri Coates, guitar. Stephen McDonald, bass. And he's in Melvin's right now. And Mario Rubalcaba on the drums. Now, the new lineup has the bass player from Trail of Dead in the group, because Mr. McDonald is touring with Melvin's. So, but yeah, great, fucking awesome punk stuff. I have everything pretty much from Off except for like the Amphetamine Reptile splits. Those are like 250 bucks a piece, which is ridiculous. I think Melvin's are on them with them. And let's see, I got one last package here. they had these two records, and this is a great one. Paul Bley, Footloose, on the BYG Records label. This is an original as far as on this label. It's actually a reissue of a Savoy release. For some reason, BYG or Byg, I've heard Christians call it Byg. This label in France got a hold of some Savoy titles, but this is a fantastic record. You've got Steve Swallow on bass and Pete LaRocca on the drums. Just a fantastic piano trio. Yeah, Paul Bley, I don't run across his records very often, so this was a nice one to grab. I would love to find the Savoy. It's got a completely different cover, but it's super pricey and just extremely hard to track down. So this was a nice cheap reissue. And then last but not least, again, a word I don't like to throw around much, but this is a grail for me. One of those records that was big around the VC many years ago, when I started watching, before I was even collecting. And just the description of this record and how everybody was, discovering it and this and that. Yeah, back in the early days. This was one that I'd hoped to find at some point, and there had been reissues recently. I think John actually got this record on, I'm not sure, I think I saw him show it, but this is Erica Heaven, and it's an original from 1973, I believe, on Just Sunshine Records. I got a deal on this because it has some water damage on the cover on the bottom and a cut corner, but the record is dead mint. And this is an otherworldly record. The title is very fitting, being Heaven. I would imagine this is what music sounds like there. I mean, it's a cliche to say, but I mean, a lot of this, it to me sounds like I'm in the Himalayas in Tibet. And I believe they're a Chilean group, if I'm not mistaken. And all the songs are titled with, as parts of the earth, like, and it starts with Heaven, which is interesting. Cloud, lake, wind, ocean, rock, thorn, river, candle, and Uto are the names of the songs. And if I can show you I mean, look at the instruments here. Fantastic, beautiful record. Very stoked to have found that. That's the update. Hope you're well. Peace.